Hey guys, it's Lindsay. Welcome back to my channel, and today we're going to be discussing some unexpected changes that I've noticed after my weight loss surgery. But before we get into it, make sure you are subscribed to my channel and you have the notification bell turned on so you know when I upload. And if you like this video, I would really appreciate a thumbs up on it. And now let's get into it. So just to quickly give you some background, I had a vertical sleeve gastrectomy or a gastric sleeve done in June 2019. It is now February 2020, so I'm almost 8 months post-op and things have been going really well for me since my surgery. I've lost almost 85 pounds total since my highest weight, and I just love having a gastric sleeve. It's really the best decision I could have ever made for myself. If you haven't watched any of the other gastric sleeve videos on my channel, I will leave a link to the playlist right up there so you can go check those out. But yeah, there are definitely a few things that I've noticed since having the surgery and just kind of, gradually have noticed over the last few months. Some different kind of things that either I've experienced, either like emotionally or physically. So I thought I'd just come on here today and chat a little bit about all the different changes that I've noticed. They're all pretty good. I mean, I don't think any of them are bad, but I did think it was interesting. And in case you're interested in getting the surgery done or you've recently had it, these are some things that you might keep in mind that might apply to you as well. I mean, maybe not everything I'm sure on this list will apply to everybody, but it could just be some good things to look out for. So let's go ahead and get started. All right, so the first thing on my list, and these are in absolutely no particular order, I just kind of wrote them down on my phone as I thought of them, but the first thing that I have on my list is that my feet got smaller. Kind of. I know I did mention this in one of my previous vlogs, one of my monthly updates, but I did want to mention it here in this video as well. And in that previous video, I did mention that I thought my feet had maybe shrank a little bit, like lengthwise. I honestly now don't think that's the case. I just think that they've gotten less wide. They've narrowed out a little bit. So they still have gotten smaller, just differently, because I'm still wearing a 9.5. I've worn a size 9.5 since I was like in 7th grade when I was like 5'2", a size 2, and like these big, huge clown-sized feet. It was a little ridiculous, but my feet have always been very large, and I don't think they've actually gotten smaller, but they have gotten narrower. And I don't think my feet were ever very wide to begin with. Like, I didn't have a lot of fat stored on my feet, so it's very strange to me that they have gotten a little bit smaller, because when I was this size before, like, I have shoes from 7th grade that literally I can still fit in, and I don't think, that I've always been able to fit in, even when I was a lot heavier. So it's just very strange that my feet would be so much smaller now, because when I was this size before, I don't think that there was a difference. I could be wrong, but I don't know. But yeah, just something to keep in mind. I definitely have heard people say that they've gone down in shoe size, so that is definitely something that can happen. It just unfortunately hasn't happened for me yet. I have purchased quite a few pairs of shoes since I had my surgery, and they're all still 9.5s. The only ones really that I have noticed that are like too big for me, like lengthwise, are my Crocs, and I wear my Crocs literally every single day. I got them on right now. And while they do fit, I think if I were to order another pair, I would try and size down. That might be too small, and I would maybe have to return and buy the size that I am currently wearing, but I don't know. I think these are the only ones that I would actually need to possibly size down in, but definitely something to keep in mind. Like I said, a lot of people have talked about how they're actually, their feet actually have shrank before. Another thing that I have previously mentioned, but I thought was worth noting again in this video, is the fact that I am cold now all the time. And I think I talked about that in one of my videos from last summer, and now we're like smack dab in the middle of winter and it is brutal. I am always wrapped up in my bathrobe these days. I feel like I can never be warm enough. I am constantly freezing. My hands are always cold. My feet are always cold. I'm not a big socks person, especially when I sleep, and I have been sleeping in socks because I've just been so cold from head to toe all day long, and I live in Chicago, so it gets very cold here. So that is definitely a side effect, I think, just because I don't have as much insulation anymore, if you know what I mean. Like, there's just not enough of me anymore. I got used to the way that it was, and I was a lot warmer, and now I'm a lot colder. Will it go away if I maintain this weight and just, get used to it? I don't know. That would be great, because I would love to not be so cold all the time, but I don't know if that'll happen or not. But that's definitely something to keep in mind too, if you're going through with the surgery, because I think it happens pretty much to everybody. All right, next thing, my taste has changed a little bit. Not as dramatic, I don't think, as some people have claimed that their tastes have changed since they've had the surgery, but it does happen very quickly after surgery from what I understand for like pretty much everybody. The one thing that I really noticed right after my surgery was that I didn't want wouldn't drink Gatorade anymore. Now, the 2 weeks leading up to my surgery, when I was on my liquid diet, I drank a 32-ounce bottle of Gatorade every single morning. I don't remember what flavor. It was the same flavor every single day. It was the pink one, and I really liked it. And then a couple of weeks after surgery, I still had some in my fridge, and I went to go drink one, and I thought it was absolutely disgusting. It was very weird. I was like, this does not taste at all how I remember this tasting 2 weeks ago. Super strange. As far as like other stuff, I haven't noticed a whole lot. That's really been the main thing that I noticed that I didn't care for. But then again, I'm not eating a very big variety of foods. I'm eating protein and vegetables, protein shakes, protein bars, and like that's pretty much it. So I don't have a whole lot of variety. If I were to introduce some different things back into my diet, like carbohydrates, like bread, pasta, cake, cookies, fruit, I don't really even eat fruit. Some of those things maybe would taste a little bit different for me, but because I haven't tried those yet, I don't know when I will try those kind of foods. I haven't really noticed a whole big difference there. But like I said, the whole Gatorade thing, which just kind of blew my mind. It was Gatorade Zero, so there wasn't any sugar in it, but that was just very strange. And I know a lot of people do also have that same reaction, that their tastes like completely change after surgery. All right, moving on to the next thing that I've noticed that has changed since I had my weight loss surgery. And this is really an interesting one, and that is my skin has changed, and particularly the skin on my forearms, which I know sounds kind of weird, but it really has. I have what's called keratosis pilaris, which is like that bumpy chicken kind of skin that you see or that you might have. I know it's pretty common. And typically for most people, it is just like on their upper arms. And that for a long time for me was the case. I've had this my entire life. But starting in like my early to mid 20s, it kind of traveled down my arm, and it got really bad here on like my forearms, on both arms. But I think this one was the worst on my left arm. And I tried so many different things to get rid of it. So many different scrubs, exfoliators. I remember like slathering honey on my arms, just anything that I could think of to try and minimize this. And a lot of those things did help, but I haven't done hardly anything to my arms since surgery, and they're like as clear as they've ever been. It's very strange. I was not expecting that at all. And this is just a theory, but I'm thinking it's specifically because I basically completely cut out gluten from my diet, and it could be completely unrelated to gluten. I don't know, but I really don't eat gluten anymore. And my daughter actually was just diagnosed with celiac disease, which is an intolerance to gluten. So she's also been gluten-free, and I joined a couple of different gluten-free Facebook groups, and a lot of people in those groups talk about different kind of rashes that they get when they ingest gluten. Now, I don't have celiac disease. I've actually not been tested for it, because I can't be tested for it right now because I'm not consuming gluten. You have to eat it to be tested for it, and I don't feel like adding gluten back into my diet to test myself for it. But seeing all those people online talk about the rashes that they get when they eat gluten, and it is called something different. I don't remember what it's called. It's not keratosis pilaris, but that just kind of made me think that maybe there's a connection. It could just be because I'm eating a lot more protein now, because I'm taking all of my vitamins. I don't know. I honestly have no idea, but it's a very welcome change. So if you have really bad keratosis pilaris and you're going through with the surgery, you're thinking about doing the surgery, that might be another change that happens to you. Can't guarantee it, of course, but it's definitely something I've noticed. My skin on my forearms has never looked clearer. Another really fun kind of change since I've had the surgery is that my style has changed. The style and the way that I dress has completely changed since I had my surgery. And I never, before I had the surgery, would have thought that that would have been the case. Before the surgery, I was a leggings and oversized t-shirt kind of girl. Like that's literally all I wore almost every single day. I have so many pairs of black leggings, so many big baggy t-shirts, because I hated the way I looked. I really truly did. And it like just ate away at my brain all day, every day. And I wish that wasn't the case, but it was. So I really just, was uncomfortable in my own skin and kind of just tried to hide that. I hated wearing non-stretchy pants. I hated wearing anything that didn't cover my butt completely, any shirt that didn't cover my butt. I hated all of that. And now I can't imagine wearing those things on a regular basis. And when you think about it, it does make sense. I'm so much more comfortable in my own skin now. So it would make sense that I'd want to like switch up my style and try different clothes. But back then, before I had my surgery, I could never even fathom trying some of the clothes that I've tried on now, and wearing them out in public and feeling confident in them. So I think that's just a really positive change, and I don't know why I didn't think about that before I had the surgery, but I just didn't. I love wearing jeans now. I wear jeans every single day. Before my surgery, I had a couple of pairs of jeans, but I hardly ever wore them. I really only wore them like if I knew I was going to be going out and seeing people that I knew. But even still, if I was doing that, a lot of times I did just wear the leggings and the baggy t-shirts. But now I hate wearing leggings out. I don't think I've worn leggings even out just like grocery shopping since probably like August of last year, like just right after my surgery. I had just made a really quick change into thinking that jeans were the best thing ever again, because for a really long time I hated them so much. And then even just more recently, when I first initially kind of started to make the change in my style, I was thinking the kind of jeans that I would like would be this really stretchy ones, kind of more like jegging kind of material. But I actually just purchased a regular old pair of jeans. They hardly have any stretch in them, and I like these a whole lot better, the ones I'm currently wearing versus the really stretchy ones. I just think for this, at least with this particular pair, they just fit me better. They feel really nice. They don't feel too tight. It's just mind-blowing like how far I've gone like on the jeans spectrum, like from absolutely hating them to loving them in just such a short amount of time. And then as far as shirts go, I don't know if you can really tell what I'm wearing, but this is just like a little sweatshirt, like a really lightweight sweatshirt. I have tons of these. These are like my absolute favorite thing to wear right now here in the winter. They definitely don't cover my butt all the way when I'm wearing my jeans with them, but I don't know, I just love the way that they look. They're super cute, flattering, easy to wear. And I never would have worn anything like this, because I think when I think of a sweatshirt, I just think it's like super bulky and it's not form-fitting, which this particular one isn't, but I do have a couple that are more form-fitting that I think are really flattering. And just I never would have thought that I could wear like a sweatshirt as like an actual shirt, but these are like super cute. This one's from Target, and I absolutely love it. All right, I've just got two more things here on my list that I quickly wanted to touch on. My nose runs every time I'm full now, and I never heard that as a side effect before I had the surgery, but now that I've been in a couple of Facebook groups and people, you know, I always read through the comments and stuff, people chatting about how they know that they're full, and this comes up all the time. Your nose will start to get a little runny if you're full. It's weird. I don't know the correlation and how it's all connected, but it is apparently a thing. It happens to many people, probably not everybody, but it happens to many people. And it's not like it's so bad where I need to go get a tissue or anything. It's just like a little bit of a sniffle, but it's a really just weird, funny way that my body now tells me when I'm starting to eat too much or getting very close to being full. But just another thing to keep in mind if you are interested in having the surgery, that could happen, because it's definitely happened to not just me. And the very last change that I've noticed since I had my weight loss surgery, and this is kind of a cool one, is I don't drool when I sleep anymore. Never would have thought that there was a connection between drooling in my sleep and being overweight, but apparently there is. Before I had my surgery, when I was heavier, I would drool all over my pillow every single night. I know that's gross, but I know I'm not the only one that does that. And I definitely haven't been a big drooler my entire life. It definitely has gotten worse, or did get worse as I got older, but I never made the connection between my weight and my health and drooling at night. But I think there actually might be a connection, because I don't drool at all, ever anymore. So yeah, just a really weird thing. I just kind of noticed it one morning. I was like, oh, hey, my pillow is dry. Okay, that's cool. And then, you know, the next morning I noticed again and again and again and again. I was like, okay, this definitely is like my new normal. I think this might have something to do with losing weight. Not sure if it's like actual weight loss surgery related or if it's just weight loss related, which I think that's probably going to be the case, but very strange. And I never heard anybody talk about that before, so I definitely wanted to mention that. And if you're a big drooler, you might not be after you lose some weight. So there are all the weird, wacky, unexpected changes that I've noticed since I've had my weight loss surgery. Most of them good. I mean, I guess maybe being cold all the time is not such a great thing, but I would take being cold all the time and being healthy versus where I was before and not being cold all the time. Like, I would take that any day of the week. So it's really not that bad. And spring is just right around the corner now, so hopefully I won't be super cold for too much longer. But yeah, I hope you guys found this video helpful, informative. I don't know. But if you did enjoy it, I would really appreciate a thumbs up on it. Go ahead and make sure you are subscribed to my channel so you don't miss any of my future uploads. Go ahead and follow me over on Instagram. I will have my link listed down below. I post tons of pictures over there. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!